Hi, welcome back. Our room here. Today we're gonna react. Well, this is part one of live stream reaction. Yes, the reaction for the live stream itself will be well. It is on part two, which I upload much in the past. I think 12 days ago. So yeah, you can check the thumbnail. What I will gonna discuss in part one. As usual, as usual. First, I will talk about storage, followed by event, and then final thought and story. Yes, up until story because the prediction, improvement, and the live stream reaction will be in part two. If you come from the playlist, this will be before part two. But if you come from the based on the upload date, this is 12 or 13 day after part two. You will understand the reason if you check part 2 of this video of the lifetime reaction of Luna Egg. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. So first thing first, I will talk about storage. Let's see. The pre-install resource package is already there. Let's see how big the size of Luna Egg is. If I remember, we will have new map. I don't know if we able to explore this map once we done with the world quest. I think we will, right? The moon. We're gonna explore first moon. Finally, that's my wish. As part of my improvement or maybe quality of life I want to see is that I wanna see that we able to go to the moon again. That was my survey, one of my survey thing every single time I do the survey at the end of the patch. Since Luna 5, I think. Luna 5, Luna 6, and 7, I guess. Maybe Luna 4 as well, because that's where we able to go to the moon for one time at the end of Dark Conquest Arc 8. Anyway, let's see. Oh, okay, only 2.4 gigabyte. Not bad. Again, the biggest patch, the biggest size for Genshin usually on the new region. We will see. Next patch will be Snezhnaya patch. So for now, for Luna 8, 2.4. Interesting. Not bad. That's all. Moving on, let's go into the game. I will not talk much about the event because I upload every single one, but I will talk a bit for each, especially the one without a commentary, which is most of the event except for the main event, I guess. So first thing first, let's talk about Phantasmal Pal. Ooh, the connection, the ping. Anyway, right, let's move to the location first. So Phantasmal Pal event took place in Inazuma, which is over here. How do you teleport? I thought we have some teleportation. Wait a minute, we don't have teleportation somewhere around here. I thought we have maybe for the event only. Interesting. I thought we have teleportation somewhere there. But yeah, or maybe it is the one, the location. I don't remember. We have another teleportation, I feel like. Anyway, in this event, we meet with little Harrison Circle. It was an interesting event. We learned. That is the first time I meet with what is her name again? Prune. Yes, the first time I met with Prune because I haven't explored not what. Okay, this is normally how it's look like. So I have not explored Windrise Peak. Even after I explore Windrise Peak, I still have not seen Prune, by the way. Where is she in? I do the thing with her I will talk about this more when we talk about that event, the whole exploration event. So yeah, in this event we meet with multiple kid, I guess. Alice, Alice kid. I mean, Klee, Sayu, Cici, Yao Yao, and Prune. The main idea of this is pretty much about Prune, but we have parallel from the NPC perspective. I forgot the name, Homura or something. Anyway, so Prune lost it's not that she lost imaginary friend, it's because she want to be an adult. She try to be acting like an adult. Alice essentially helping her recognize the child like well, she's still a kid, so you know what I mean. But because she want to be an adult, I mean, during the whole event, she like to be someone who knowledgeable, someone who older than her age. But in the end, she realized the thing after the whole thing with Homura, with Nightmare thing, we have Bakedanuki and also Yume, the whole ghost thing, Yume Mizuki, it's like Mizuki. It's a small event, it's not really that big. That is a bit of hint though. So when they comparing themselves with the normal Hexen Circle, one of them is Octavia, right? I still believe we're gonna see Octavia soon. I don't know when we in this Naya. Considering Octavia is the one that, if I remember, one of the event was created by Octavia. I don't know which one. Is it Imaginarium Theater? I don't remember. It's not Imaginarium Theater, right? Which one was made by Octavia again? I don't remember. Anyway, that's all about Phantasmal Pal. It's not really, I mean, the whole mini game also simple. Pretty much there's a cat here. Okay, cat. Anyway, ignore the cat sound in the background. Yeah, Phantasmal Pal. The mini game itself, like I said, is not really that difficult. One of them is the combat as usual, one of them is the puzzle stuff, one of them is by surfer, and that's it. I think the other one is, well, they have two mini game, the one that golf with Klee, and also the other one with Sayu and not Sayu, Cici and Yao Yao. Anyway, moving on, we're gonna go to the next location. This is the no commentary event that I do, which is something that happened in Nordcry called Trial of the Brave Warrior. This is interesting. So we meet with Kazuha here, which basically this is continuation of what happened in the last patch, where we see Beidou. I don't know, is it Luna 6 or Luna 5, but so Kazuha apparently also coming here because of Beidou recommendation, and he made the thing, the combat event that was before we enter Inazuma back then in 1.6 or something. This one thing when they introduce Kazuha, the Crook made this competition to gain the visionless vision, right? The winner will gain the visionless vision. This event kind of like that in a sense that we only have 3 contestants too, which is the champion candidate, because we don't really when our character traveler arrive here, the competition is almost done. So we have 3 champion candidate, which 2 of them from Fatui, 1 of them from Harlequino subordinate, the other one from I believe it's Sandrone, I don't know, I don't remember, but one of the other one, the third one, I mean, from Inazuma, which is the character that we first heard from Sayo back then in the marathon event, Luna 2, I remember, called Sumire. So Sumire is Sumatsuban. I thought this will be a playable character, but no, it's NPC, and she bring a Ninja Dog, which is, we've seen Ninja Dog before in Inazuma. This is another similar like that with Shiba Inu. And pretty much this combat is interesting in a sense we have dodge. It's easy though. This is too easy in my opinion. I don't. They did this before, the whole parry or dodge or counter thing. I wonder if they're gonna apply this. Well, they did apply this in the night trial in Natlan, I remember. But then again, I wonder if will have character with this mechanic in the future. I don't know. Which is weird. I mean, this mechanic, if they implement something like this as a character kit, they need to have this for every single character, right? Because I don't think this unique to us, especially since you need to make sure enemy have this trigger, when to dodge. Maybe without the guide, but then again, that's hard. I don't know. We're gonna. I don't think Genshin will do that. Is what I'm thinking. Anyway, in the end, we have to choose the winner. I choose random, so I don't know if they have different dialogue, but I hope we're gonna see them maybe, especially the Inazuma one. I mean, not Inazuma one, the Fatui one, considering we're gonna go to Snezhnaya, maybe we're gonna see them in Snezhnaya, I don't know. I don't remember their name, but when we see them again, I will probably remember. We will see. Moving on, we have the third event. We're still here, if I remember. Yes, Ballad of Whimsical Polypony. This is the first time I actually play all 12 new songs they added in this minigame. In rhythm game, I guess you can say that. I mean, technically a minigame. I usually only clear 8 to complete this. As you can see there, it's only require 8, but each album, I guess, have 12 songs. Because this is recorded, I decided to just do all of them. And one try only. Except for the Klee one. The reason why the Klee one fell in the beginning because the song is funny. I somehow misclicked twice. The other song I did, some of the song I misclicked, but I just continue until I'm done. The Klee song are the only one I retry twice because misclick. The song is also short, so I guess it's fine. I've played it on mobile, so it's not really that hard compared to I heard on PC because of the 3 control. I try to imagine using PC, when I rewatch my own gameplay, and it's kind of hard. 3 button, basically 6 total, but 3 left hand and right hand. It's much easier on the mobile phone, which is technically rhythm game. 99% is always been a mobile game, at least as far as I remember. The design based on touch, even though I mean some game like Osu or they still using. I mean also use except for that mode where you use keyboard, but the other one, the basic Osu one, they use trackpad, if you know what I mean. So technically touchscreen is also possible for Osu, if you know what I mean. Anyway, moving on. This is still in here as well. Yes, Beyond Silver and Vine Gold. I only finished 2, as you can see there. I'm able to do the third one. I will do the third one later on. I think I will do this when I start either the event or the world quest. I don't know which one. Basically, this week. But I will do that at the end, maybe next Sunday. Because we only have 4. So I just realized we only have 4 weeks. Basically, after that, this is done. I already done 2, and at first I thought this is similar to Stanley Chronicle, which we can repeat every week, but apparently not. Only 4 weeks and that's it. I wonder why they have this. This is pretty much lore. Not just about Nicole, but about in-game lore, because Nicole is an angel. She has knowledge of the past. For example, I think at the time of this recording, the second week is not uploaded yet. I include the second week as part of... No, I think it's uploaded. Yes, the second week will be uploaded before this video, I think. In that video, we'll learn about Voyager. Well, the whole domain thing. Well, you can see the video. Basically, she explained the whole domain mural and the whole tree in the domain, why they have tree there. It based on a story. And she also explained how she joined the Hexen Circle, and also the whole thing with Simulankas for some reason. I cannot wait to see what she gonna told us on the third and fourth week, the final one. Lore, probably again. I don't need. I don't need to go to the thing, because if I go there, I will trigger this. So yeah, beyond silver and fine gold. And the next event is not here, it's gone. So let's gonna go to the location, which is also I already upload that in Natlan, in the new area, not the new area, in the area where we have the summer one. Yes, Easy Breeze Summer Holiday. It was located here. Okay, so the teleportation is gone. It was the teleportation somewhere around here. This I will go. Let's just go there. So this is simple. This is we have this event before. We have similar event like this before, which is a co-op event where we need to band together technically to to make sure we put two different color of I don't know what, Asha, two different color of Asha to their own respective location, blue and orange, I think. That's the whole gist about the gameplay. The story itself, so Bennett apparently he come back here having holiday with his dad, dad with S from the Adventurer Guild, and they having fun here, I think. And when we arrive, we almost done. I mean, not almost done. The other one is already left Natlan. Meanwhile, Bennett is the only one left, and that's, I guess, the only. Well, it's not here. Where is it? I guess it was over here because of teleportation. So Bennett just almost done, but this new Asa, the colorist, need help. It's not here. Where is it? I don't remember the location, but it was around this river way. But anyway, my point is, the story is that we know that Bennett is Nathanis, so his bad luck gone when in Natlan, and we helping this colorist coloring the thing. That's the goal, pretty much the gameplay. And after that done, the colorist just gone. Shoo! I don't remember the exact detail. You can watch the video for the story. I don't really remember that one. Why am I doing that? I wonder. Anyway, we just meet Bennett there. That's all I want to say. It's not really that hard. I mean, all the event and mini game is easy in game, except for the end game, which is not hard by hard, but more like you need more DPS. What else? Okay, the next one will be the exploration quest, which technically I need to finish. It starts from Luna 6, but I finished this in Luna 7. As you can see, I'm done everything. I'm done the limited quest. We do the world quest with Zenlin, which again, the Zetlin story, let's go to the location actually. So for the Onstad area, I'm complete 100%, but I don't think I'm complete. I still have more to do until they upgrade the compass in other area. I wasn't sure if I complete every single thing here, but for the Temple of Space, I only finish around this much minimum to reach reward 80%. So the world quest, I will talk about the world quest. Well, let's go here first, just for the background. The world quest itself is mainly focused on Laislin and to find her sister Hilda. I think I understand the story. It was about someone who almost giving up living because she lost her sister. That she thought she lost her sister. We know what happened. So the journey that we do with her in Temple of Space rekindle her idea of adventure, I guess, but at the cost of she losing her memory. That's the main thing, I think. In the end, I don't know if you're gonna see Leslie or maybe Hilda are again in somewhere in Teyvat. I don't know. But the lore itself, we have this thing. So the only thing I think important for the story in the future is about Asmodee. So Asmodee Master is apparently not us. Melantha said it. When I'm playing as Lumin, Melantha said, so you chose him as your master. And I checked another people playthrough who use Aether as the main character. That sentence changed into, so you choose her as your master. I'm assuming this. I mean, I already expecting this during the playthrough, but the Abyss sibling is the master of Asmodee. No wonder we saw. So at the end of this world quest, before, I mean, not at the end, after we fight Melantha, we have this portal again, just like what happened in that Natlan 1, Natlan Archon quest, where we meet with our sibling and they use, Loom of Fate. After that whole thing, we have another portal, similar looking portal, which is a signature thing of Asmodee. If you check the beginning of the game, Asmodee popping up from that portal, same portal. Because this again, this is world quest, right? So optional, pretty much optional. But the only hint is that basically that the master of Asmodee is our sibling, not our character, the player character, but the Abyss sibling for some reason. And I don't think even our sibling knew about that. Asmodee just become a stalker, if you know what I mean. That's just my guess. She become a stalker of the Abyss sibling. I don't know why. Maybe we're gonna see in the future. Maybe it's just my guess because I don't think the sibling knew that the unknown god become their servant or something, master servant relationship. So I assume it was decided by Asmodee herself. But we will see. I don't know if I didn't pay attention to the screen. I think someone just trying to go in. I'm busy. Next time, whoever that is, I don't pay attention to the screen, but I'm looking at something else in the background in my room. Anyway, so yeah, the whole A Long Day in the Mountain world quest pretty much mainly focus on the NPC we meet, Laislin and Brunhilde. We also have this character, Mei Kiao, which was Esther, the real name, who was, I think we've seen Esther before in the past, the name, I don't remember when. But Meiki also appear here. Meiki is just an example of what happened if they leave Temple of Space, they lost their memory pretty much. Oh, we also learned something more actually. We meet a lot of people in this area, this map, from different era of Teyvat. Every single time we ask a character, traveler will ask what era you come from, something like that, and they will explain where they come from. There's so many characters I met here, which I don't know, I don't think it's important. Again, it's just some external lore about the era they're living from. Even Remorian, right? there's a lot of Remorian here somehow. Interestingly, yeah, there are a lot of Remorian for some reason. And even in Remorian era, there are multiple era in Remorian history, like someone from this era and then someone from after the era, 2 era after or 3 era before. There's so many, it's more complex pretty much. Our main character, however, NPC Historia, are from the era where they the most advanced, I guess. And I believe that was before King Remus, which is the last king of Remoria. If you do the Petrichor thing, World Quest, I think. And I still have not complete, as you can see, I still have more to do. I mean, I just need to explore a little bit more. But I'm fine. Maybe when I in dire need of Primogem, I will probably explore, because I believe I have enough for Sandrone. Yep. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically Temple of Space. And oh, one more thing. When we first meet Nihilita, which is before we enter Temple of Space, Nihilita mentioned about the real name of Temple of Space, which is something domain
誰かのために歌うわけじゃないけど、
Tau, I believe
もし
Tau,
立ち止まって
which is
聞
a
いて
Greek
くれる
number,
人がいるなら、
Greek letter,
ほ
I
ん
mean.
の一瞬でも
This is my
心の安らぎ
possible.
を感じてくれたら
So,
嬉しい。
what I was saying again, this is my theory, a speculation. Obviously, there will be multiple segment. I don't know, I think multiple place similar to Temple of Space, and each of them will have a default name by Alpha, Tau, Omega, Psi, Pi, Sigma, Lambda. The whole name, the Greek thing. I think I don't know how many of them, be all of the Greek letter, but I don't know. It's just funny. I mean, it was funny. It's interesting. Maybe we have another temple of time. Not to mention Historia. I don't know where. I think he's here. Historia, the main guy, is over here. This guy. When we first enter here and up here, he mentioned that the other sister of the god, which is the other, like Ronova, Istaroth, and I guess before gold it was I keep forgetting her name. Naberius, yes. They often visit this Asmodee. This is before, because Remorian, I mean this guy from Remorian, this was before the event, the Cataclysm, much older than 500 years ago, which means back then when Asmodeus still built in here, the other ruler come here to visit sometime. Not to mention, I believe Istaroth also have role in this Temple of Space, because everyone here is immortal. They cannot die
大丈夫だ
because
よ。
of Ronova.
銀
Time
月
doesn't
の
move
庭で
because of
毎日ずっと散歩してたから。
because of Istaroth, and also everyone always forever living because of Naberius. I think maybe this Temple of Space is not much of a Temple of Space, more like Temple of Shade. I don't know. Not to mention, what am I saying again? I was going to say something. I forgot my train of thought. When I check the map, I immediately remember about something. Let me check again. Not to mention, what else? What I was gonna say? I don't remember. Oh yes, the purpose. Not to mention, the purpose of this Temple of Space is more like preserving. They're preserving a lost civilization of each era. They take one person or an object of that era and preserve it here. That's why Melanta hate when people here trying to change or evolve, become a better person or something, or become the worst, you don't know yet. So they want people here to stay still. The moment they bring here, they will always like that forever, something like that. But then we know that that's not gonna happen because Nihilita break free and then go to the mortal world, become mad, I guess. And Melanta, I think Melanta is disappear. We have one more to Dex, which become the future Melanta, I think. This remind me of something. What if, my question, what if Paimon is kind of like Dex? Basically, if so, how I say this? She is a shed, is what I'm saying, but not mature, still just like Dex, a baby shed. Maybe in the future, Paimon will become, either one of the shed, or maybe she is not a shed. What if she is Panes herself? I don't know. Anyway, still a mystery to this day. Who is Paimon? I don't know. The only creature that fly in Teyvat, but no one asks question. They just agree that Paimon exists. Anyway, that's all about this quest. I don't think I have anything else to say. We do have something to say about the location itself, the exploration itself. Not of this one, because we all talk about Temple of Space, but about, yes, the new area in Mondstadt, Windrise Peak. So there are, I think I'll talk about this before actually. I'll talk about 2 events, right? I will talk about this during my Archon quest. I guess the World Quest discussion will always be on the Archon quest. The reason why I talk about World Quest right now, because it was part of the exploration, which is this one. That's why I talk about a long day in the mountain. The other one that I do will be when I start Archon quest, which means the next one will be in Snesnaya, before Snesnaya, including Golden Slumber. And maybe I will do another world quest in between, I don't know. Just like the first one in Luna Egg, the space moon, space shuttle. Anyway, so that's it, all of the event, I think. Now, yes, this one I still have not done, which homework. There will be another thing, right, for the one with Barbelot. I will do that as well. What? So many things to do. Anyway, let's move to final thought. So let's go to Sumeru. And sadly, Irminsul is not here. Since we focus on Sumeru, let's go here. Let's look at Sumeru City when I talk about final thought and also the story. By the way, where am I looking at? Yes, that's over there. So before we talk about um, the final thought and story, at the time of this recording, well, at the time of this video uploaded, if you watch from video list, the main story, the Archon quest, Soul of Welkin Moon, Arc 9 and Arc 10 is not released yet. Yes, but if you watch this from playlist, well, ignore what I said because this is possibly I rearrange the thing, so this will be after I'm finished with everything in Luna 7. Anyway, so final thought. For the Archon quest, I give it 8.5. For the Lohen one, yes, I did Lohen as well. I give it egg for an egg. Yes, the low hand one is, I will talk about this right now. So, why I give it that? Let's talk about story. First thing first, let's check the thing. So, I was planning to do the prerequisite because the world quest of this is a lot, the prerequisite. But, I mean not but, I was planning to do, so because of this a lot of thing to do before the Archon quest, I plan to do this in Luna Egg. But, because of, as you can see there, limited reward. This only able to be get if I finish this on this patch. That's why I do this marathon the whole day, doing this from the beginning until the end. I am tired. This is still the same day, so I'm still, this is the last thing I will recorded. After this I'm done. Just to get this. So, let's talk about the story. Overall, this story is the continuation of what happened at the end of Luna 4, at the end of Arc 8, where we have double title card. After we talk with Columbina in the moon, with the title card showing up, Arc 8 complete through moon. And then after that scene, suddenly Varka making a letter to Mondstadt. After that whole letter thing, we have our camera goes to the sky, and then for some reason the same title card popping up again, but this time with a glitch. And that is the moment Dottore infiltrate Irminsul. Moving fast forward, 3 patch later, we seen the effect of this. When I begin Act 9, when the title card of Act 9 and Act 10 popping up on screen, the glitch happened again. And something unexpected happened. In the middle of Act 10, the title for Act 10 changed, become the title of the patch, True Among the Page of Purana, as expected. And that also in line with the whole, the beginning Traveler Tale, the first video they released, the roadmap of Genshin. They always showing the final chapter of each Archon quest, right, for each region, like Ode of Resurrection for Natlan, for Fontaine was Masquerade of the Guilty, but for Sumeru, back then when we finished Sumeru Archon quest, it was not True Among the Page of Purana, which was supposed to be dead, based on the Traveler Tale. I don't remember the name, the exact video, but the one where we're showing the roadmap of Genshin from Mondstadt up until Khaenri'ah. And I think it was something, I don't remember the time. And when I start chapter 10, I didn't pay attention, because the name of chapter, not Act 10, of Act 10, technically it is supposed to be an Outcry Act 10, but I mean Song of Welkin Moon Act 10. But because we in Sumeru, the title changed because to, so yeah, so this thing over here, this is not True Among the Page of Purana. Before I finish, if you can check, I think part 1 upload before this, so I click this as well in that video, and the Act 10, the name of the quest for Act 10 is not True Among the Page of Purana, but something else. Back then I didn't pay attention of the naming, because I forgot that it's supposed to be this name. So when Dottore, well, the title card changed midway when they showing the title card, I was like, what? Oh, what is, okay. And that's it. The whole glitch gone. I still think that the glitch thing caused by Dottore though, but then again, in the story, they're confusing. About Dottore segment is a bit confusing. The whole thing, the scene with Regulator and Dottore, like, so this Dottore here over here, is this the one that died in Not Cry or the other half? I believe it is the other half. And the other Dottore already went to the ley line. Because if this is the other half, then why we have a glitch from Luna 4? Maybe when Dottore enter ley line, they have glitch, but because it's incomplete, it's unable to do anything. And when Regulator put the other half, the other soul, I guess, in Irwin's soul, that's when Dottore able to move, and this Sumeru thing happen, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. So the few thing I want to talk about, and the reason why I gave it 8.5. Usually I am the last Archon quest I was almost 9, but this time I've give it 8.5 for a few reasons. I like the story. It's more like Collei, I guess. Collei and Dottore. And also Scaramouche. And also Nahida. The other character is the usual banter of Sumeru, Cass. That's the problem. A few first scene we have banter, the usual with Alhatem and Cafe, the usual thing, sometimes with different cast, but the first few one, like, okay, fine, it's interesting, I like it, character interaction, but the more the quest go on, I feel like, they keep talking. This banter is so long. Especially that one scene where we need to talk with each character, like, is this necessary? Because I don't think it's matter at the end, after in the morning when we do the thing. If you watch my playthrough, you understand. So we talk with people. The only thing I find interesting in that scene, for example, was Dory, because of we learn about Dory's secret, I guess, that she is philanthropist or something, in a sense. We also have this dialogue with Nefer at the end. That one is interesting. The other one I found interesting was the whole, yes, every single scene where the pillar showing up and banter, that's one is always interesting because we never seen them before. So this is the first time we seen them talk, especially Todd and naturally Harry Sharp, naturally Mochiron. It's interesting. I like that. Even up till the end. But okay, other thing about character involvement here, there's a lot. Basically, every single Sumeru cast involved, but there's one character that I feel like didn't have any role. Nilo. Nilo appeared once. Well, she talked once in a dream sequence in the beginning, and after that we saw her in the background in Aromura, where when Collei using the Jin thing, that meme where Chris Pratt calming Velociraptor or something. Calm down, Jin, calm down, something like that. And then Nilo just in the background from afar. And that's the only time we saw Nilo. After that, Nilo just poop. Where? Disappear into the ether. We never talked to her, and atau maybe because of Nabu Malikata, we're gonna have dialogue with her, but no, nothing. No, maybe I guess makes sense. There's too much character. A lot of character here. Everyone mainly just better with the other, their partner, I guess you could say. Like Cafe, always with Alhatem, sometimes with the other as well. Tinari always with Sino making a joke. Sometimes we have another character included in that. Desia and the Candice. We've seen Jeto. Well, we'll talk about that later, I mean soon. Because of this too much character, I feel like the importance of each character less and less. I mean, I guess the banter making up for that, but they're so long. The banter dialogue, the cafe, and especially the cafe and Haltem dialogue. Like, oh yes, I understand you. The two of you, I already watch you a long time, so I know both of your character. So the same thing again with different topic, of course, but still. Anyway, what else about the character? Yes, the character, because of this world quest involvement, I assume the character we meet will have important in the world quest that we do, especially Jet from Golden Slumber Quest, Lilopar from Dirga Bilqis. The rest, the other one is not really that important in my opinion. Aranara appear at the end because they care about Nahida, but then again, that's all. They don't really any scene with them. They even put them just for the sake of it in one of the battle, so that the healing point attack Aralika or something, helping Shino team dealing with Asimon or something. But then again, even if they remove that, it's still the same result. So yes, I don't know why the Aranara included just for the sake of it. I guess maybe again that's all. The only scene with Aranara. Sorus as well, the Pari from Kavaran of Good and Evil. She only appeared in one scene. She talked in one scene, and that's it. I don't know why they need to include Sorus because it's from Sumeru, I guess. But then again, I don't feel like you then. If you don't have to, you don't have to. Sometimes because it's just making it like, why you here in the first place? You don't really have any contribution to the story, just for just saying yes, we here, something like that. That's all. I guess the point. But then again, I don't know. But I like her voice as well. It's she funny. Soros. It's the second time we heard Soros' voice. The first one was when we do that event, Nahida birthday. The other character that appear beside them is from Aranara again, Rana. I haven't finished that, but we saw Rana when we infiltrate Sumero City, and that's the only scene, the only scene we saw with her. She talked to at least fully voiced. First time again, I think, for the first time. What else about this world quest? Well, I not complete the other three in the bottom here. I don't know what that about. Maybe that's about Jet as well. I don't know. I also got spoiled of Jet story because I'm reading the. So they adding this new thing since I guess this patch or maybe last patch. I don't remember. But if you click here, you have this guiding note. But if you in the dialogue, you can click from the top right, and then it's also showing the same thing. And I got spoiled of. I don't get spoiled from other story, I guess, except for Jet, because I haven't finished Jet story. So I know what's gonna happen with Jet, as you can see there, description. The whole Tanit club, Tanit tribe thing, destruction, blah blah blah. Okay, spoiler. I mean, I understand because if you check this, they said finish this to avoid spoiler. Pretty much that's what they said. What else? Yes, the thing, the goal. So I don't know what Dottore goal is. Why Dottore go to Irwin Soul? Is there plan B? Or always been the plan? Because we have this dialogue between Regrator and Dottore talking about their history together. Regrator pass, Dottore pass, the whole thing, the reason why segment exists, why Zandi creating this segment in the first place. But I still don't know why Dottore in Irwin Soul, like, I mean, I know the goal. I believe they said themselves they want to create a new world. Basically, if you can control Irwin Soul, you're able to change reality. The example of that is the dream that Polly has in the beginning of the Act 9. That's the example. But in the end, it failed. I guess it's not failed. Dottore create one more segment which was the one who talked with Regrator, watching the Irminsul got burned. But it turned out, yes, I think that's one of the thing, because when the Irminsul gone, that Dottore also gone, just to prove that Dottore born from the memory, not the real, Jandik, because the real one is already in the Irminsul gone. And I don't know if we're gonna see Dottore again. I feel like this is the last thing, because he not deleted, he back to the ley line, but the ley line is different now. It's not Irminsul. If you watch the playthrough, you understand it's changed. I don't know how this work in the future, I wonder. Because this should be affecting everything, right? Like everything. The only thing I can confirm from this is that Ruka Devata is gone forever. Because the Irminsul, I don't know, maybe including the whole Wanderer pass as well. Possibly, again, I don't know. And there's still a thing. I thought we are gonna have the scene with Gnosis. So who took the Gnosis? What? Where is the Gnosis? Disappear. I thought Regrator for sure take the Gnosis. Maybe someone else, we will see. I thought they're gonna show that as a post-credit scene. But no. So I guess we're gonna discover that in the beginning of, or maybe somewhere in Senesnaya story, which somehow end up in Saritsa hand or something. The project Studia finally been begin or something because of the remand of the third descender complete now. I don't know, we will see. Again, like I said before, the main focus for this Archon quest is Dottore, in a sense, because we learn more about his segment as well. Maybe introduction of Regulator, yes, I guess. The other thing probably Nahida, and the whole pillar of King Distret. We see Apep as well, it's funny. I wonder if we're gonna see Apep with Nufilet now. Anyway, the other character important for this is Wanderer, just a little bit, because remember at the end of Luna 4, we don't really have a fight between Wanderer and Dottore, considering what Wanderer core being used of back then by, Sandrone. But this time, they fight, I guess, even though it's not complete, because the fight we have with Dottore is not really an actual fight. It's more like story fight, like predetermined, because we are unable to die. If we lose our health, we will heal automatically, which means it's not important. What else? Yes, one more character that are important is Collei herself. And Collei here is interesting. We learn more about Collei. We learn about the reason why she have this dream before and why she has this stuff. In the end, she choose to let go of Nabu Malikata essence in her body. As though at first, maybe finally for the first time we will get an SP character, Collei 5-star or something, but no. She chose to be general. She chose to be a citizen instead of someone interesting. I mean, she is interesting, 5-star or 4-star, you know what I mean? But instead, something happened with Lilupar, which is funny because I haven't met Lilupar in the Dirgo Bilkis, so when I do this, Lilupar will be there. I mean, in Dirgo Bilkis, even though she already, I don't know what happened with the other Jin, but the mother of Jin is gone, I guess. And, you know, that's it, I guess, about main story. It's a long discussion. I mean, not really, I just expressing what I think I remember. My speculation still, Dottore. The whole thing with Dottore is interesting. Like, there's so many. I feel like Dottore is the most the most flesh out character for a villain. in Genshin Impact. Like, we learn so much about him, about everything, his life. Anyway, what I was saying. What else? Not totally. I was gonna say something else. Not Gnosis. Yes. Speaking of Gnosis, so Mavwika, right? Is she so unlike other Archon, which is technically not human, Mavwika is human, and I guess this is just foreshadowing what we're gonna how Teyvat gonna end up at the end of our story in Teyvat. I think there will be no more Archon in the future, because I don't think there will be Pyro Archon anymore unless we do something about the sovereign authority thing, because I don't know where that is now. The Pyro sovereign authority end up in, because Gnosis is gone and the authority. Well, no, technically the authority is still the only way to defeat the authority. Remember what Ageria did in Fontaine. That's the only way to return authority to the dragon. Even if Gnosis is gone, it doesn't really matter if I remember. But then, how did the next Pyro Archon gonna be after Mavwika, right? If that was, you know what I mean? Because unlike the other Archon, Mavwika and every single Archon, Pyro Archon is human and given strength because of the whole pilgrimage thing. Even though the pilgrimage changed now after the Natlan event, not event, Archon quest. But still, I wonder how. I don't think we will ever see the future of Genshin after we're done with our story in Genshin. So I don't know. Maybe I don't need to think about that. Developer gonna think about it, I guess. About how the Archon thing. Zhongli said this is the age of human, not Archon. But as we know of, the only way Archon will be replaced when they die is when they die. Shouldn't Liyue be confused? Why would the Geo Archon did not get replaced with the new one if Reclapis dies? Maybe because he does not die. I still believe that Zhongli is dragon as well. I don't know. Anyway, what I'm saying again, that's something else entirely. So that's all I guess about this Archon quest. So our next destination is Nesnaya, right? Technically, when we finish Arc Egg and we talk with Columbina in the moon, we say where we're gonna go next, which is Nesnaya. But because of Archon quest exists in this patch, now I'm confused. And technically we're still gonna go to Nesnaya, but the thing that I confused of is at the end of this Archon quest, we don't have any dialogue, conversation. The only time we have dialogue is actually between, not dialogue, the one where we can ask the other character some question. The only time we have that is when Regrator and Dottore talk. Basically, we are Dottore asking Regrator some stuff. That's the only time we have dialogue option. The rest is just one dialogue and then done. I thought we have some more, post-credit scene, but no, I guess. So that's why I give it a pointed for the finale. This is technically finale of Welkin Moon, Song of Welkin Moon chapter. Even though these two arc is in Sumeru instead of Notcry, and pretty much completing Sumeru Archon quest, even though the title is Song of Welkin Moon. Anyway, moving on to Lohen story quest. So Lohen story quest is really, really short. I did it in 2 videos, but it explained a lot of Lohen origin, where they found Lohen, how he become Favonius, and his ambition, and also another character ambition. If you know, if you play the game, if you do the quest, you understand who that is and what happened after his goal and everything. It's very compact, but it tells us a lot of things. The only thing I don't like is that usually when we have story quests, we have this animated animation, you know, whether it's 2D or 3D. We have one um for PowerPoint thing, but that's not really what I think. So yeah, Lohin doesn't have that some reason. I wonder why. I don't know. We also explore more about the in this Lohen story quest. We explore more about Diluc. So if you didn't not watch, if you didn't read the Diluc comic that was released before the story of Genshin Impact, where we seen Dottore for the first time as well, just like you know, uh, Collei stuff. Technically now you don't need to read that. Well, if you still can so you see the character because it's a comic. Even if you don't, they explain it in this story. For the Diluc one in Lohen, whole thing about Diluc father Crepus and the whole betrayal of the Favonius advisor or something, Erok, and the whole thing with Ursa the Drake. I think it's the first time we heard that Ursa the Drake actually an angel who choose. So if you talk with Nicole, she gonna say something about the angel rest. Do you wanna choose losing your power or something else? I don't remember. Ursa choose to lose herself in turn. So I don't know if Ursa again. I don't know if angel is female on the rest because I I don't know yet. We don't see a single male angel yet. I call it she, I guess, Ursa. Maybe it, I guess. We don't know, Ursa direct. So it choose power instead. So it keep the power of angel, but in in return losing its sanity. And that's why Ursa born the deck, who was sealed by Vanessa, the first Grandmaster, and Fante back then, 1,000 years ago. Anyway, you can watch the comic or you can read Lohen. They explain this here, everything. The same thing with Collei as well. Well, Collei is actually more detailed in the story, in the Archon quest. Or an event maybe? With event is possible. Maybe Archon quest. So yeah, it's very simple. The whole Lohen. It's not really any lore implication except for Angel with Ursa thing. The rest just pretty much about him. And the reason why the requirement for Lohen story that we need to finish the Archon quest Act 10 of the Song of Welkin Moon because of Dottore mention. Dottore is so important. I mean, because of the Crepus, right? The Diluc father Dottore also there, so makes sense we need to finish that so that it doesn't confuse people, especially since this quest took place directly after Dottore die for good, I think. So that's all about world quest. I will talk more about world quest that I do in detail in when I start Archon quest, as I promised back then. Every single Archon quest part 2 will be discussing what I do in the past ever since the last Archon quest up until the next one. So yeah, that's all for part 1 of live stream reaction. For part 2, I
やっ
talk
ぱり
about
自分の目で見てこそ
prediction of
世
Luna
界
for
の
Luna
美
Egg.
しさを感じられる。
Also improvement I want in game and the reaction itself, which already released timeline wise. Playlist wise is directly after this video. So yeah, until next time, bye. Before that, just in case. If I miss something, did I miss something? No, I don't. See you guys in Luna Egg tomorrow. Bye.